Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, along with Lorraine and Kathy for Ask a Crafter. We got our fancy shirts on, we got our brandy snifter full of questions, and we are ready to roll. So, Lorraine's going to kick it off with our first question today.
Okay, Teresa Peterman says, looking forward to this. I would like to print digital stamps and color them, but I need to know how to print them so I can color them in. Any suggestions? And thanks always for sharing.
Yeah, if you go to my blog, there's a link down below to my blog. Type in Digi-Stamping for Dummies, and I have a step-by-step tutorial there. It's all printed out. Just follow along. It'll show you how to print them out in either Microsoft Word or the free program OpenOffice, and then you're good to go. You're all set.
Jessie B. I love the Dick Blick liquid watercolors that Lindsay suggested in a video. I bought the 10-pack of colors plus a gold because I knew that I would be using them with my daughter and a friend's 3-year-old twins. She says that the 3 that you really need are magenta, yellow, and turquoise to make the different colors. I do not remember which one she uses to add shimmer. You put the liquid, read more. I don't have the rest.
Oh, yeah, I had some issues printing. I used the pearl. The pearl is like if you just get the magenta, the yellow, and the turquoise, and you get the pearl, that will give you a huge range of colors. And they work great to add with water in a spray bottle and make your own shimmer inks.
Great.
What are you looking for? The skinny ones, I think.
Yeah,
looking for the short comments.
Kitty Tails says, oh, Kitty Tails, that's cute. I was wondering if you had a recipe for homemade fluid acrylics. Thank you.
Well, craft store acrylics will be very similar to fluid acrylics.
What is that? Is that just paint?
Fluid acrylics, it's a very thin acrylic paint. Golden makes them. So instead of being thick acrylics, they're almost like an ink, almost like an acrylic ink. So if you buy like the craft store acrylics and you get like the Ceram coat and stuff, you buy like the more vivid colors, you could add a few drops of water and glycerin and kind of dilute it down so that you get more of that inky consistency. I would stick with the brighter colors because you're going to dilute it as you water it down. You could also add a little like Mod Podge to it, or like a thin varnish, like an acrylic varnish that will also thin it down it'll dilute it and thin it down without adjusting the color too much. Like if you had like a polyacrylic, like a Minwax polyacrylic varnish, you could add that with it. Any acrylic varnish will thin it down so that you have that same kind of open fluid consistency. But the craft store, the acrylics in the bottles, the 2-ounce bottles for, I think they're 88 cents right now at AC Moore, this Delta Ceram coat, they're going to behave a lot like fluid acrylics anyway.
Sharon Fletcher asks, if I can only purchase one set as a beginner, which should I purchase? Duran Intense pencils or a Spectrum Noir blendable color pencils? Essential set.
I would get the Inktense. They'll be a lot more versatile for you. You can use them as a paint, an ink, or a regular dry colored pencil. They're gonna be a lot more useful for you. They are more expensive, but I would go with the Inktense before I would get the regular the Spectrum Noirs.
Okay, Miriam Pastore says, I'm very happy you're back. Not only I learned a lot about different crafts, but I also use your video as an English listening lesson.
Oh boy.
Oh my. I'm Italian. So anyways, I have a question about clear stamps. What's the best way to ink them? Most of the times I don't get a clear image, but the ink keeps on beading. Thank you and welcome back.
My tip would be to scuff it with an emery board. So you take your clear stamp, scuff it with an emery board or a pink eraser, and then the ink will stick.
But it's never going to be as crisp a line as like a rubber.
No, it'll be pretty close.
That's kind of what they're designed for.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of detail.
Yeah.
No. Julie James, so glad you're back. It's been too long. I want to know what is the best, most durable paper trimmer. I am new to paper and purchased with a coupon a Fiskar paper trimmer about a year ago. I made the photo album for my mom's birthday and have only cut paper and cardstock. The wire has shredded and must be replaced, which I think Fiskar will do under their guarantee. If they won't, which trimmer do you recommend? Also, I'm giving Mom her album next Sunday. I'm wrapping up double-sided tape for her to open first. Thanks again for advice. That's a nice gift.
Very nice gift. Very nice.
I recommend the X-Acto guillotine style from Staples. It was $24 when I bought it 15 years ago. I think they still have them, and you never need to replace a blade. I've been using it every day for the past 15 years, and it works great. And I can do like 1 sheet of copy paper, or I can do 10 sheets of cardstock. It's wonderful stuff. I've even cut magnets and chipboard with it.
You can cut magnets with it?
The magnet,
The
like
magnets, the thin stuff?
yeah, like the sheets,
Really?
magnet sheets, like for
Ooh.
from print shops and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
1979 Carmen says, "Oh, thank God, life hasn't been the same since you guys took
Oh.
the summer off." My question, I found some cheap oil pastels at the dollar store. They look like big crayons. Can you tell me what the difference is and how can I use them in my crafting? Thanks.
Well, I do have a tutorial on oil pastels, a little garlic sketch tutorial. They basically work like creamy crayons, very much like gelatos or gel sticks, but they're not water soluble, so you would just kind of layer up the colors. If you want to blend them, use a little baby oil or mineral spirits. Just draw a color, you know, have fun with them. Use them like crayons.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, I have a question. I love the splatter technique on just about everything, LOL. But when I do it on my cards, the ink just seems to soak in and give a very dull matte look. How can I get a crisp, dark, black splatter look? I use distress ink, distress paint, acrylic paint, and it all seems to soak in and not give a dark black look I'm looking for. Any ideas? Thanks.
I would try acrylic paint or watered down acrylic paint or India ink because it does have a little bit of a gloss to it and it's going to sit on top of the paper more than sink in. And it's probably going to be kind of messy, so.
Would the kind of paper matter? Changing the paper up?
It could, but acrylic paint isn't going to be it's not going to soak through as much as like a non-permanent ink. So something with a little shellac in it, like an India ink or an acrylic paint.
Okay, Linda Knox says, "Gee, this will be fun. Definitely going to tune in. I would also like an answer to the question below about using silicone chalk to make molds." That must be the one we answered before.
Yes, silicone caulk. Yeah.
Cock, chalk, cock. Also, I would like to know what others do with art cards that they create that is not for a particular purpose, such as a gift, home deco, etc. Seems like kind of a goofy question, but then maybe someone else out there as goofy as me. Also, there are so many products out. We don't have any more to that question.
Oh, I'm having a hard
That's fine.
time.
There are a lot of products out there.
There are.
And it's wonderful.
I don't care to talk about all the products out there. Oh, sorry about that. Well, I can answer the question about the cards that don't have a particular occasion. I put them in a clear bag from Paper Mart. I buy, get a stack of those, and I put them, for sale in my craft fairs and whatnot with an envelope. Or if it's very odd and I don't think it would sell, but it has something interesting about it, then I'll send it off to a magazine like Just Cards or something like that. See if they'll consider publishing it. Just include a brief description of how you made
Well,
it. and-
is she asking like what to do with all your cards? Like I have a lot of cards, so sometimes I just give them as gifts.
Oh yeah.
Make a package of
Oh, that's a good
5
idea.
or 6 for somebody that's housebound but wants to send cards. My mother,
Yeah,
she wants to send cards, but she can't get out.
that's a great idea.
So just give a bunch of them as gifts.
Yeah, good idea. Well done.
Oh boy, you're doing good. You're taking the big questions. I'm sneaking with a little.
Cindy Bliss. Woohoo! I love watching you girls. I have a question. I see a lot of beautiful work that appears to have clear colors on top of each other in art journals, like reds on top of blue and yellow layered in. But when I try and do that, my colors look muddy or dull. I hate to say muddy because I'm watching the color wheel. Someone told me to add a bit of white in my colors because they could be transparent, like Liquitex Basic, but then I lose the color. Is there something else I should be doing? I even have some of the heavy body that do the same thing. I guess it isn't muddy, but more transparent. I do dry the paint between layers. And she has another question too.
Well, it sounds like she's trying to do glazes, but her colors are mixing with each other and getting muddy. So I would recommend using an ink. So like India ink or an Inktense pencil, lay down your first color, let it dry, and then you can overlap your next color without disturbing the color underneath. But it's got to be a permanent thing, such as a marker or such as a acrylic paint. If you add white, it's going to become opaque, so you won't be able to see what's underneath. And it sounds like she wants to layer and see what's underneath. So I wouldn't add white. I think it's just the products. You got to make sure you're using a permanent product that's not going to lift up. And also, when you're choosing your colors that you want to layer, make sure you're using pure colors. So don't use something that's a mix. Don't use something like a dusty rose or goldenrod or something that's kind of like a natural color to begin with, because those are just going to get muddier and muddier the more you layer over them. So start with bright pure colors, use a permanent color, and make sure each layer dries before you add the next one.
Okay, and her second question. I have some of the Liquitex acrylic ink, which I was all excited about because for the life of me, I can't get the right formula for drips. But they have globs in them. How do I get rid of these? I have shaken them, diluted them, and just don't understand why everyone loves them.
It sounds like your ink may have gotten frozen, and that's why you have globs. There shouldn't be globs in your ink. If you're shaking it or stirring it and they're not going away, then I would say they've probably been frozen. And if they're new, I would take them back to the dealer and I would ask for a replacement.
Okay. Jennifer Henson, how can we seal dilution spray and seal them without smearing the stencil patterns? I've tried everything from Mod Podge to gel medium to gesso. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Gesso? I know there's a crafter that found a way, but I was a very, very beginner back then and had no idea what she was talking about until I started using these sprays. Is it a spray that she invented to seal it without using a brush? Maybe you ladies might know.
You can use like any clear spray paint, I think, to seal it. But I'm wondering why you feel the need to seal it, because if it's in an art journal, it shouldn't be getting, it's going to be reactivated by water, so if it gets wet, it's going to smear. So I would think that's why you want to seal it, so that if it could get wet and not smear. I personally wouldn't seal it, I just leave it. But if you want something to seal it, you want like a clear spray paint, so you can just put a fine mist and leave it be.
Dello 1951. I am looking forward to your return. I have a question similar to Kimberly Brandt. I have seen the videos on homemade silicone molding putty, but I can't get mine to work properly. It's either too hard to mold or too sticky. Any suggestions? Thanks.
Sounds like it's equal parts of part A and part B, you mix them together and then you have a mold. I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm not 100% sure, but Bake and Bend Clay by Skelpie is great for making molds, and they're flexible, so you can pop the stuff out, and it's cheaper than the mold making stuff. So you may have to order it online, but that would be my recommendation. If it's sticky, it sounds like you have too much of one and not enough of the other.
But doesn't it come like?
Should come equal parts, but you don't necessarily have to use all of it at
one time.
Right.
Yeah. Like, could the weather be an issue?
Could be, but I think it changes. I think it's like an epoxy. I think it
starts activating right away.
Yeah.
Okay, Tina Colfer said, I just saw the new sequin dies. Oh, this must be, you just did a tutorial, I think.
Yes, I already adjusted that.
Yeah, but pricey is the word of the day for me. Any tips for making do-it-yourself sequin shapes that will look cute and not break the bank?
Yes, I already posted a video
Yeah,
on how to make your own
great.
paper sequins, so I jumped the gun on
watched
that
that one
bit.
and paid attention to
You
it.
did?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, wonders never cease.
We'll quiz you later.
Yeah.
Am I just, I don't know, missing the boat? Why on earth would you need to make your own sequins? I mean, I understand the frugality of using up scrap paper and all that, but there's so little to deal with and
So cheap to buy.
Sometimes you want a
almost
lot of colors,
anywhere.
And you don't want all those sequins left over. When I went to buy
Well,
them, there
I
were 1,000
suppose-
sequins. I
Yeah.
wanted 6.
I suppose if you want to just want what you
Yeah.
want, I suppose
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Rufus,
trendy.
1931. Yahoo! So glad that Ask a Crafter is going to be back soon. Have missed the three of you together. So much fun. My question is, what is your favorite black ink? I'd prefer a dye, not pigment, so it dries fast. But I'm looking for something that is really, truly a dark black ink. I've tried Memento, Stays On, Distress, and VersaFine. Thanks.
I prefer the Ranger Archival for a super black ink. It's a very nice black waterproof ink. Yep, and it's dye-based, but it is waterproof, so Ranger Archival is the way to go.
Okay, Kristen K says, hooray, my question isn't craft related, but would like an update on what Kathy and Lorraine did over the summer.
I'll drink my
Not
coffee.
much! A very important job of watching the lake. And all is well there.
Well, that's nice. Didn't go anywhere on it.
Oh, no, it didn't. You have to watch that pond every day. Make sure.
Well, that's not true. You got baby chickens. You
My
got a
goodness.
rooster and
Oh, yes,
tried
I had
to have baby
yeah,
chickens?
we did. We had baby chicks, and that's very good. Luckily, we only had 2 hatch out of the dozen eggs they were sitting on.
Ooh.
Because it was late. The middle of August is not the time you want baby chicks.
Yeah. How about you, Cass?
I didn't do a whole lot really. I have 3 kids that were home, and so we just hung out, bike rides, made paper with the girls. My kids went camping with their aunt. They do every year. A few day trips, walking in the woods, hanging out back, campfires, hot dogs, figuring out what we can cook over the fire that's edible when you're done. And that's it. Cooking, trying to reorganize my house. And we just took a trip to Boston and the American Girl doll store and the aquarium and went to Loudon Races to end the summer. So
Nice.
yeah, it was good.
Sounds good, ladies.
Thanks for asking.
All right, what's next? Who's next? What do we get?
Me, I think, except I can't see. Hold on.
Okay.
Carmen Tyson, I'm so glad Ask a Crafter is back on. I look forward to watching you all. Where is the best place to purchase craft items to make simple jewelry items, i.e. clear glass domes, necklace, and ring blanks? Thanks, ladies.
I really like Fire Mountain Gems. They have a great selection. The materials are really high quality, and they ship quickly, they ship cheaply, and the more you buy, the more you save. So, like, once you've bought, if you bought more than 15 items, your prices on everything drops. If you bought more than 49 items, it drops again. So, I mean, some things won't necessarily drop, but it'll count towards the price drop on other things. So I wait till I have a lot of things I need and I order it all together, or I'll go in with friends. They only charge $5 shipping, no matter how big your order is. And the prices are always great, and the materials are high. They don't seem to carry the cheaper junk that, like, metals that the plating comes off of and stuff like that. So Fire Mountain Gems, order without hesitation there. They're really a great outfit.
Shutterbug 8. Okay, here's a good one. You may need to experiment, but wondering if there's a homemade recipe for embossing paste. I was playing with glue and water thickener, but putting powdered embossing powder makes it too grainy to go through a stencil. I'd buy some, but I live in the boonies up here in New Brunswick, Canada. Thanks a bunch. Hi, neighbor.
I just use the white paintable latex caulking from the hardware store. You can add some acrylic paint to it while it's wet and color it and then scrape it across your stencil, or you can leave it and then color it later, or you can just leave it the way it is. You can buy it in black, so if you want black or clear, you can do that as well. But it's inexpensive. You can get it in a squeeze tube. I think I usually pay about 99 cents in a squeeze tube, or they have the big guns of it, which I think is a bit more than you would use as a crafter. But for a couple bucks, get a little tube of that, and you can tint it as you need it with your regular acrylic paints, and you'll get all kinds of stencil paste, more than you'll ever need. All right, time for one more question.
Okay, Sarah Little, I would like to know what you can do when you have lots of pages from old books, music, and color pages. Thank you.
Okay. Well, something that I saw that was really cute, and actually, even Tracy Allen, she made some of these, and they were so cute. She took a candy bar and she wrapped like sheet music around it, and then tied a little like twine and put a little die cut on it. Made these cute little favors that way. Mm-hmm. You can also make like Valentines with sheet music. It looks very pretty. Buntings, like banners, decorations. Mm-hmm. You can use it as backing paper for cards. You can use coloring pages as patterns for like decorative painting if you want to kind of transfer the design onto like a plaque or something and paint it. There's all sorts of things. Do you have any ideas?
I use the sheets from the music. My daughter took piano for years, so I backed the pages, use them as backing of
scrapbook pages. Oh, nice. Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably not a Cargill safe, but I really.
Yeah. It's a memory and it's authentic.
It is, yeah.
How about you?
I just add like maybe wrapping small gifts.
Oh yeah.
Or covering small boxes like the jewelry boxes and stuff with it, so you had ready-made gift things. And Christmas ornaments I did for my brothers and sisters this past Christmas. My mom died a few years ago, and I had these pages where she just, I don't know why, but just wrote, copying this book, and she has gorgeous handwriting, and I took sheets of that and glued them on like Christmas paper and made snowflakes, so we all have like some of her writing in a Christmas ornament to hang every year. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, those are some ideas to get you going. That does it for us this week for Ask a Crafter. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and as always, happy crafting. Bye.